The one thing I always want to tell people is no matter what your opinion is, no matter what your background is, always be open to having a conversation. Unfortunately, it seems for the last couple of years that we've got away from actually explaining ourselves and talking to people who don't necessarily have the same opinion as we do. Whenever I disagree with someone, I always try to look from their perspective and be like, okay, I don't agree, but maybe I can learn something from it. Maybe you might tell me something that I never thought about that make me change, or not necessarily change, but maybe just look at things in a different light. Put me in your shoes when we're having a conversation. Now, of course, I'm opinionated too. That's just how I am, but I always want to be open to having a conversation. Sometimes I think that we're quick to judge people without actually talking to them. You might see like on Facebook or Twitter, you might write a caption or a post that we don't agree with, so we automatically start. We just go on defense mode and we start to attack. Now, certain outlandish things I can't necessarily. Sometimes I see something crazy and I don't even want to try to engage that. But no matter what, at the end of the day, it's your perspective. I'm always trying to learn something. You might put me on to something I never even thought about. Like, just you never know what can happen. I think now is like the perfect time to have conversation because sometimes it seems that we're so divided, but we're really not necessarily divided. We're just in our own ways. But if we talk to each other more, we might be able to at least become at least get an understanding going. Like I talk to my friends all the time. It could be about anything. It could be about like hip hop, video games, politics, real life issues. Like we can talk about anything. At the end of the day, I want them to always notice that whenever we talk, is it from a non-biased standpoint? Like it's no not no, no judging. I just want to have a conversation with you. Like even though some of the, like people that I might even hate, and hate's like a strong word, but people I hate, I even look at I would rather have a conversation with them too. Like, yo, let's talk about it. Like I said, you might be able to put me on, and even if it's something I can't even get down with, I look at it like this. If we don't like each other, I'm still gonna listen to you. Let me read off your playbook. Let me see what y'all doing over there. So even if I don't agree and I don't like it, I can at least learn how to counteract that. I just look at it like a playbook from another team. But I never want to project anything to make it seem like we're divided, but that's just another way I think about it. But at the end of the day, I always want to have a conversation with people because I want to learn. I'm 23 years old. I haven't been here that long. I don't know everything. I know from what my trials and tribulations and my background. So I got my own perspective on certain things. But at the end of the day, my life isn't your life, and your life isn't like the next person's. So just talk to people. Try to develop an understanding. Ask questions. I love asking. I ask questions about anything because I'm just trying to gain more knowledge because I don't know. Like I remember me and my friend was having a conversation about um what was we talking about? Well, it's we had a lot of conversations, but I didn't know about the female body like that. Of course, I know the general sense, but actually like intricate details I didn't know about. So we're texting back and forth. She's telling me about like fallopian tubes, women's periods, childbirth, stuff like that. Like I said, I knew the basics, but I didn't know that much. And from that conversation, they brought up another question, which brought up another question. They brought up another topic. They brought up another like just it was so much that came from that, and I felt like I really learned something. Because at the end of the day, it's like I'm out of school, so it's not like of course I can go online, but it's different when you talk to somebody. I love talking to people like face to face. Like I like interaction. I don't really like just reading stuff. I watch a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of interviews because like when you see people, you understand like the emotion in their face, how they're trying to express it to you, so you know how to take that in. Like I don't know if y'all ever had a situation where it's like you read a text message and you really don't know how to take it because like you can't feel feeling through a text message. Like I might say a joke and it might be like it's a joke, but to you, you might read and you might take offense to it, but I'm not trying to put it in that light. And at the end of the day, it's like you never want to misinform yourself or you don't want to misconstrue anything. Like I hate when people like I always want to make sure that people understand how I feel. So when I talk to somebody, I make it blatantly clear this is my stance, this is how I feel. Do we need to have any more conversation, any more discourse so you can understand anything else? At the end of the day, please, I want you to quote me as what I'm saying. Like I'll be at work and let's say I'm at talking to a manager or anything like that. We have a disagreement on how we should run things. We're gonna have that conversation. I want to sit down and I want you to say everything you have off your chest, and I'm gonna say everything that I have, and hopefully we can come to an understanding, or we might just have to agree to disagree. But at least we talked about it. I don't want no one to ever get misconstrued. That's why I'm just saying. At the end of the day, we need to have real conversations with each other, with people that you may not ever think to have a conversation with. I'll talk to anybody, honestly. It doesn't really matter to me at the end of the day because it's all about information. I want to learn about people. I want to learn about different backgrounds and stuff. I want to understand. If you feel a stance on a way that I just totally don't agree with, I want you to tell me why. Maybe I'll understand it. Or maybe at least I might even agree with you. Like a couple weeks ago, the whole Kanye situation, that had a lot of people in the uproar, certain things that he was saying. And after watching an interview of his, and I watched him speak more than just the little Twitter stuff, I understood where he was coming from. Do I agree? No. Do I agree with the way he did it? No, I don't agree with nothing. But when he talked more, I was like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. I see what you meant. But looking at stuff face value, you're not always gonna get that. When I heard certain things that he said, I was like, yo, man, Kanye's out of here. I'm not rocking. But then I saw that he did an interview with one of the people I look up to named Charlamagne the God. And when they talked, I believe it was like an hour, maybe an hour 30. When they talked, I started to understand a little bit more. I was like, okay, what you're saying is still a little out there, but at least I'm listening. Another person I like to uh look at is Joe Budden. These are hip hop commentators if you don't know. He gave his opinion on it, and he laid it all out. This is why I feel this way. All right. Did I agree with everything he said? No. Did I agree with some? Yeah. So at the end of the day, I just want people to understand that don't ever feel scared to have a conversation. Conversation is the thing that we need the most now. Don't ever feel like you can't talk to somebody because you never know what you're going to get out of a conversation. You might get put on to something that you never even thought of. That's why I'm always here to talk.